The town of Lourdes, Haute-Pyrénées, France is home to the sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes, a Catholic Marian shrine and site of pilgrimage honoring Our Lady of Lourdes. The MASSABELLE Grotto, the site of the 1858 Lourdes apparitions, is surrounded by a number of religious structures within the sanctuary. These include 3 basilicas, known as the upper, lower, and underground basilicas, respectively. The Basilica of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, the Rosary Basilica, and the Basilica of St. Pius X. Due to the apparitions, the Lourdes water has flowed from the grotto, and this water is said to have miraculous healing properties, drawing pilgrims who are ill or disabled. The Roman Catholic Diocese of Tarbes-et-Lourdes owns and manages the area, which serves several purposes, such as offices, places for devotion, and lodging for ill and disabled pilgrims, as well as their attendants. A 52-hectare, 130-acre sanctuary, the 3 basilicas, a grotto, baths for immersion in water, an esplanade for processions, a calvary, the offices of the Lourdes Medical Bureau, and several places of worship are all part of the sanctuary. 4 million visitors a year make the Sanctuary of Lourdes one of the most popular Catholic sites worldwide. The Grotto of MASSABELLE, which is the most famous site in the sanctuary, has hundreds of replicas around the world, known as Lourdes grottos. The Sanctuary of Our Lady of Lourdes began with the Marian apparitions to Bernadette Suberus in 1858 in the town of Lourdes. On 11 February 1858, a 14-year-old peasant girl called Bernadette Suberus said she saw a lady while playing near the grotto of MASSABELLE with her sister and a friend on the left bank of the Gave de Pau River. The lady was standing on a rose bush in a niche above the main cavity of the MASSABELLE grotto. At the time of the apparitions, the grotto lay well outside town, on common ground which was used by the villagers variously for pasturing animals, collecting firewood, and as a garbage dump, and it had a reputation for being an unpleasant place. Bernadette told her sister not to tell their parents about the apparition, but she told them anyway, and their parents forbid them to go to the grotto again. Bernadette ignored their orders and kept going to the grotto. From 11 February to 16th July 1858, Bernadette saw the same vision 18 times. The lady eventually introduced herself to Bernadette as the Immaculate Conception, which had been proclaimed as a dogma for the Virgin Mary by Pope Pius IX in 1854. This convinced local priest Dominique Peramale that Bernadette saw an authentic apparition of the Virgin Mary. During the apparitions, Bernadette was given instructions by the lady, which were to prove central in the development of the sanctuary and its ceremonies. Bernadette was told to go and drink water from a spring, which was to appear inside the grotto, and wash herself with it. She was also told to go and tell the priest to build a chapel at the grotto site, where people were to come in procession. During the months after the apparitions, public interest in the apparitions grew, and curious visitors began to be replaced by pilgrims from increasingly far away, drawn by compelling stories of apparitions and miracles. Local priest Dominique Peramale and local bishop Bertrand Sévère Laurence bought the grotto and the land around it from the town of Lourdes in 1861, 3 years after the apparitions. Immediately, they set about modifying the area to make it more accessible to pilgrims and started to work to build the first of the churches, which is now known as the crypt. In 1864, the French sculptor Joseph Hugues Fabiche was commissioned to create a statue of Our Lady of Lourdes based on Bernadette's descriptions. Although it has become an iconic symbol of Our Lady of Lourdes, it depicts a figure which is not only older and taller than Bernadette's description, but also more in keeping with orthodox and traditional representations of the Virgin Mary. The statue rests in the niche where the Virgin appeared to Bernadette. The original wild rose bush was destroyed shortly after the apparitions by pilgrims seeking relics, but a newer one has been planted nearby.
cola. Yo le digo a él, de si se pone mal cuando se ve con él.
Sí, están bien paraditas. Por eso casi están. Vamos a
Todo se
comer.
me cierra acá, se me cierra aquí. Y hago así, el corazón de mierda. Igual mi mamá ni por ranto ni por ahí podía.
No, por aquí no iba a poder.
Antes están como las